Okay, this is starting too quickly for me. Right, so we're looking at multiplying and dividing algebraic expressions. So we're looking at multiplying the variables. When we multiply the variables, we take away the multiplication sign, so the times. So it's not confused with the variable x. I always like to say it's a shy one, we never see it. So the multiplication sign means it actually like smushes it, almost like you put them into a melting pot and you melt everything so it becomes all together and into one. And I'll show you what I mean. So here we've got 3 times g times h, which gives us 3gh. So we smush them all together, okay? If we look at 3gh, we know that it's a 3 times g times h, okay? We know that, but we don't show it. If we've got this one, we're going to smush them all together, and we've got 2 times x to the power of 2 times y, okay? That 2, little 2 there, just so you know, belongs to the x. Those two can't be separated. All right, so although the order is not important, it's more conventional, so it's more mathematically correct to write your answer in alphabetical order. So if you've got a question that goes 2 times b squared times a times c, the more correct answer would be 2ab squared c because it's ABC. Okay, and remember the 2 remains with that b in that case there. All right, so if you've got 2 times x squared times y, it would be 2x squared y. Okay, so simplify the following. 5 times 4g. So essentially, it's going to go 5 times 4 times g, smush them all together, melt them all together, and you get 20g. So 5 times 4 is 20g. Right, so now we've got negative 3d times 6ab times 7. So let's pull it all out so it's extended. So it'll be negative 3 times by 6 times by 7 times by d times by a times by b. Okay, so we put our numbers first and then our letters, because remember, numbers are most important in maths. And then we would go negative 3 times 6 times 7, and then we would stick these in alphabetical order. So it looks like this. So it'll be 126 ABD. Okay. Now, when we divide, this is what we do. When we divide, we rewrite the expression as a fraction. So that's where I want you to start, always. Sometimes it'll be given to you as a fraction, sometimes it won't. You put it into a fraction, and then you simplify it by cancelling. So this is what it looks like. So we've got 16f divided by 4. What we do is we say, right, how many times, what can go into 16 that can also go into 4? Well, 4 goes into both of them. And 4 can go into 16 4 times, and 4 can go into 4 once. So now we're left with 4f divided by 1. Now, we don't, as soon as something is over 1, we lose it completely, because anything divided by 1 would be itself. Let me just move that over there. So the answer would be 4f. No need to write the denominator since we're dividing by 1. I mean, we divide by 1, we're going to get the same answer. So it's 4f. So you lose the divide by 1. Okay. So let's do another one. We've got 15n divided by 3. And remember I said has to go into a fraction. So we make it into a fraction. And then we say, well, what can we get rid of? We can get rid of both the ends, because what you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So we get rid of both of those. Then we say what goes into 15 and 3? Well, 3 goes into both of those. 3 will go into 15 5 times, and 3 will go into 3 once. Remember, now it's over 1. We don't have to include it, so our answer will just be 5. And make sure you're showing all your working out. Right, last one we're going to look at is simplifying negative 25xy divided by 27y. So we put it into a fraction. Now, first thing we can see is we can chop out our y's. We can get rid of our y's. So we get rid of that y and we get rid of that y. Divide. Now we say, well, what goes into 12 and 27? Well, I know 3 does. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. So now let's write that neatly underneath. We're left with negative 4x divided by 9. And that is how you divide.